Gormagad Kirloch, and thank you all for joining us here today and for the work that you do at local authorities. I feel a little bit like a poacher turned gamekeeper with the colleagues from City Council, but appreciate all of your attendance. I'm going to start with City Council, maybe come back in the following rounds. I suppose when I was on the City Council, Owen, we had many debates about trying to increase housing delivery, and this government has changed with Housing for All, a number of very significant changes that affect the local authorities in terms of legislating to give you the power again to deliver affordable homes to purchase for the first time ever, affordable cost rental, to ending co-living, committing to ending the leasing and putting a significant emphasis on bills and increasing the bills. But I suppose from a city perspective, your report talks about social housing, talks about the historic over the last number of years. It doesn't give a detailed projection for the next 5 years. And from a city perspective, homelessness is the acute end of it, and that isn't captured at all in the report, and I absolutely acknowledge Dublin City Council's role in terms of the leadership of the Dublin Regional Homeless Executive, and certainly in Dublin Central, where we're providing more than 60% of the emergency accommodation. I'm acutely aware of how important it is and a priority for yourselves. But to fix homelessness, we need the social housing numbers to be increased, and I genuinely welcome the doubling of your new build social housing for next year. But if you're to reach the target of 15,000, you're going to have to double that every year for the next 4 years. Every year you're going to have to double what you did the year before. And I suppose my question to you is, are you geared up to do that? Have you got the resources? You very accurately call out the challenges, the external challenges, but from your own organisation, from a local authority, can you give us a detailed view and projection on that? And in terms of affordability, once you've fixed the social side of things, affordability is just a huge issue in the city, and the introduction of affordable cost rental is a game changer for people who don't qualify for social housing in terms of having access to affordable, secure rental accommodation. But can you talk and share with the committee the City Council's plans for the rollout of affordable cost rental? And I suppose specifically I'd like to know in terms of what the City Council can do or is doing to accelerate delivery. And I'm very conscious in Dublin Central, O'Devany Gardens is a project with planning permission for over 1,000 units, and that's a mixed development of social, affordable purchase and affordable cost rental. Planning permission is granted many months now, and while the City Council has delivered its first phase, I don't see construction commenced on the second phase, the bigger portion of that site. But similarly, Finbar's Court, St Mary's Place on Dorset Street, Matt Talbot Court, these are all City Council developments that I know the City Council has brought forward from a planning perspective, but when are we actually going to see some construction commence? And if we could start with those questions, I'll come back at future rounds. Gormagad.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask my colleague Colin O'Reilly to respond in detail on some of the issue. But just on the resourcing issue, let's be frank, there's funding available for all the resources that we need to deliver the housing programme. Housing, however, is no different from other areas. It is proving very difficult for us to retain and recruit staff professionally, particularly professional staff. So even though we've got the sanctions and we've got the funding, in a very tight labour market, Dublin City Council is not the employer of choice because uniform paying conditions, much higher travelling costs, there's a housing cost. So it's a real challenge right across my organisation to retain staff. So, I mean, that's just the nature of the market. But yes, I can't fault, we've got all the sanctions we want and the funding. The problem is slightly different. I'm just going to ask my colleague just to deal with some of the specific issues you raised.
Thanks, Sandra. Yeah, agree totally. The only way we can deal with homelessness and affordable housing is just the delivery of housing. I suppose from an affordable cost rental point of view, to start there, The schemes have only really come on board in the last year to 2 years, so it's going to take us time. We have delivered 37 affordable homes this year, but it will take us time to bring those other schemes up and on board. At the same time, we went to planning last week for Emmett Road, which is 578 units, 70% cost rental, 30% social. We recently achieved planning permission for affordable sale homes in Cherry Orchard, and we're moving forward with affordable sale homes in Ballymun. We'll be bringing those to planning in the coming months. So it's obviously in our programme. It wasn't what was requested of us in the letter, so we didn't include it in our response. But we do have a strong programme. I suppose the caveat to that is that as affordability and affordable housing has become more of a focus, they will come on board in future years. So it'll be more towards the end of our Housing for All programme in 24, 25, 26 when they start to come and deliver more. Fully aware of the need to double the figures. We look at them constantly. We have the projects and the timelines, and we're committed to delivering them. I think with regard to O'Devney Gardens, the judicial review process was completed in May 2016, or May 16th, 2022. So, from our point of view, we're extremely frustrated with the lack of progress on site, and we're on ongoing and constant engagement with the developer with regard to need to start on site and get started on site. So, and just on St Finbarr's Court, we hope to have that on site later this year, early next year. So they are progressing. I think one of the things that is important to note is that progress in housing, it's slow. These are complicated processes for us to work through. They're difficult process. Delivery of housing is not a simple thing to do. And unfortunately, the need that people have out there, which we fully recognise and accept, we can't meet that need in the short term. So it is going to take us time to ramp up delivery. Hopefully I've answered all the questions.